back to another episode of the A Miracle Marketing Podcast, where we bring you interviews from business owners, celebrity guests, and hot topics. I'm your host, Brandon Adams, along with my co-host, super producer, Big Perryon. What's up, my man? How's it going in the
Chilling. Everything is good. A lot of traffic out there, but hey, man, that's Atlanta.
I know you was worried about hopping on, so we had to push it back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, send us an email to amiraclepodcast@gmail.com. On today's show, we have a very special guest. Me and her go back to about, probably a decade now. She is an actress, songwriter, producer, singer of the platinum group 702. Welcome to the show, to the A Miracle Marketing Podcast, Miss Meelah Williams. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Brandon. I'm here, I'm alive. I'm grateful. I'm here. I'm excited. I'm trying to, I'm just trying to do the best I can, in light of the recent loss, that 702 just encountered. So.
Well, here at
I'm all right.
Podcast, we send our condolences out for those that don't know that out of the trio, Miss Irish has left the group, and we're, definitely send our condolences to, Irish and her family.
Yes, Irish has transitioned and passed away, and we just celebrated her life 3 days ago, actually. In Las Vegas. So I'm back home in Atlanta now. So I'm just still processing, but I'm happy to, be able to just be here with y'all today. I'm still grieving the loss of my mom as well. It'll be a year and a couple of weeks that she's been gone. And so this is me pushing through,
Sure. Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. So we're going to bring up the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what you got going on this weekend in your hometown of Las Vegas. Miss Meelah has a new book called Zach's Favorite Socks. Show our viewers. So she's going to be out here in Las Vegas doing a book signing this Saturday at 3 different locations. So we'll tell you where the locations are at shortly. But Meelah, tell our viewers what inspired you to write the book.
Okay, so gosh, I mean, most of you may know I'm a mom, but for those of you who don't, I'm a mom of a now 14-year-old. My goodness, that sounds weird to even say. So I wrote this book when Zach was much younger, and what inspired me was just because I felt like, so he's on the autism spectrum, and I felt like I needed to do something more than just establish a nonprofit, something more than just share my story. I wanted to do something more creative outside of music, which would be typically expected from me. So I was like, okay, what else can I do, outside of songs? And I thought a book was very befitting because kids love books, children love rhyming books. I noticed my son gravitated to rhyming books when he was younger. He loved those books that would rhyme. And I know I did too, like Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss, we grew up on him. So I wrote a book for not just children on the spectrum, but just kids in general, and it rhymes. And I just thought it would be something really cool so that I could add author to my name.
Perryon?
That's dope. How is it juggling being a celebrity and a mom?
It is quite eventful, to say the least. It's a lot, especially since losing my mom. I'm really doing a lot by myself now, and I don't even know some days whether I'm coming or going. I don't know how I'm getting through it. Yes, I do, through the grace of God. And of course I have my village, my silent partners who are my family, most of them at home in Vegas, but they're my tribe. And then my sister and my brother-in-law, they hold me down. They've been holding me down since before Zach was even born. They're in Virginia. They come to my house all the time. So it's a lot, to say the least, but my family understands, the need for me to stay active and be proactive in my son's life and as a creator. That's just who I am. I'm a mom first, but I'm also, I'm an entertainer, I'm a performer, I'm an artist. So it's hard for me to sit still, truthfully. So I make certain that my son is number one. I took some time off for quite a while to make sure that I raised him. You know what I mean? He was diagnosed at age 4, and I met Brandon back in the R&B diva days. For those of you who don't know, that was a reality show on a network called TV1, and that was like between 2013, 2014, and that's when I first shared my story that I was a mom of a kid on the spectrum. And I was a little leery at first, but I'm so happy I did it, because ever since then, people still reach out to me just with all kinds of questions and just with so much support, and just so grateful that I use my platform to be a voice for them, because a lot of people don't have the voice, or the platform that I do, or they're just afraid to speak out. And so I'm grateful that I'm able to just kind of wave that flag of support, for them. And now, all these years later, Zach just started high school, so that's been interesting. I got a young man on my hands, but
I
I'm
have a
juggling it all.
That's dope. I have my youngest son. He was diagnosed with autism, and he's a very funny character
Aren't
because
they
he had
all?
he has his choice of colors and things that he do.
Hmm.
It's been kind of challenging for me and my wife trying to figure out because all of our children are homeschooled. So
Oh,
trying to
okay.
figure out handling them and managing him, trying to understand him
Yes,
and
a lot.
get him to understand us. He pretty
Yes.
much at 4 years old, he pretty much is the second man of the house because he tried to rule us.
Yep. They
And he's
definitely can
real
do that,
strong. To be so small, he's real strong.
aren't
I
they?
I
I know.
I know for I know for us, um, we by have all of his siblings, um, we try not to um, deal with him in a way where it seems like he's different from
Different.
everybody else. You know, if
Absolutely.
if if we joke with the older kids, we joke with him too. We push, punch,
Absolutely.
whatever,
That's
wrestle with him
excellent.
too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do you um what are for some of the people, our viewers and our listeners and stuff, how did you initially deal with having a child born on the spectrum, as you say? Um,
Well, first off, hats off to you and your wife. I mean, that is incredible that you guys
thank
have made it a point not to, make him different. You know what I
you.
mean?
Yes,
It's such a blessing that he has siblings, because Zach is an only child over here. And I hear a lot of times that children on the spectrum do amazing when they have siblings. It really is conducive to their development. But honey, I ain't having no more kids, so I don't know. We're gonna have to figure something else out. But in all honesty, it's not easy. I just gave you the quick, pretty version. It's not easy, it's very challenging. That's why I did say, hey, for a minute, I had to take a break. I had to kind of pause, and put my career on ice for a second. Even
mm,
now, I'm still not going as hard in the paint as I would like to. Um, my tenacity had to take a few steps down, because I realized he needed my help. He needed me. He needed not grandma, thank God for my mother when she was here, who was his nanny. But I just knew, like, okay, this is serious. He's nonverbal for the most part. He can talk, he can say words. So he's limited verbal. He doesn't
yes,
he doesn't he doesn't speak a lot at all. And his comprehension is extremely delayed. So I learned early on that um, this was pretty serious. When I first got his diagnosis, he was only 4, so I was still learning him, still learning. I'm still learning today. Initially, it wasn't a shocker, because I knew he had some delays, because unfortunately I had a traumatic delivery. So he kind of came into the world like from birth with trauma. So he had lack of oxygen to the brain from birth. So it started there. But so I wasn't shocked when we got the diagnosis. But I think for me, it's still just hearing it. You just not really wanting to fully accept it as a parent, especially a first time parent.
mhm,
Um, his dad and I just we did what we thought was best. He pretty much let me take the lead on it because he's the eldest of 9 and just kind of felt like, hey, I seen all my siblings kind of go through some stuff, come through some stuff, grow out of things. He's like, whatever you want to do, I support you. And I'm like, well, I think we need to listen to the doctors, the professionals, and get him in these therapies. So we got him in therapies even before his diagnosis, early intervention, which I suggest, highly suggest. But I ain't gonna front. It was hard at first. I was mad at God. I was frustrated. I didn't understand, like, why me? And then I was like, well, why not you? What makes you so special that you can't have a kid on the spectrum? And I guess it's because I specifically prayed and asked God to bless me with a son. Okay, he gave me my boy, but I also said, and Lord, please don't let him have autism. I specifically prayed that prayer only because autism was like, all numbers was on the rise. This was like, what, 2008. And I just started hearing about this autism. I didn't even really know what it was. I just knew it was prevalent in boys. I'm like, oh, and don't let him have autism because I don't feel like having to deal with a special needs child. So God fixed me and was like, oh, okay, watch this. But I was so frustrated though, because I didn't understand how to be a mom to this special needs kid because it's challenging. It is, but now it's like all these years later, even though, like I said, I'm still learning, Zach, I can't imagine him any other way. I've learned how to communicate with him. When I don't understand him, I ask him to write it down or spell it for me. We go through things like that together. And you need support. You do need support. It's hard to go through alone, but you can get through it. Of course, all kids are different levels. All individuals are different levels on the spectrum. And so I do know there's others that are maybe more severe than my son, but there's also others that are way more mild than my son. So what I had to learn was to not compare. That's where I think a lot of parents go wrong, comparing our kids and saying, darn, I wish he could do that. Or, man, if my kid or when it's, because I used to do that. I used to say, okay, Zach is not talking right now, but maybe by the time he's 6. Well, then maybe, okay, no, okay, he's still not talking. Maybe by the time he's 8. I did that like all the way up to like 12,
Yeah.
And I'm like, it is what it is. He communicates how he communicates. And that's just not to say give up and stop taking him to therapy and all of that good stuff, but you have to meet your child where they are and love them unconditionally and be okay with it, be more than okay with it, because God gave them to you like this for a reason,
Yes.
And whether we understand it or not, it is what it is. And like you said, you don't treat him any different. I talk to Zach like I'm talking to you. Now, whether he always understands, I don't know, but I'll be talking to him like a young man because he's a young man now. He's the man in the house. He's 14, and he still be having these baby moments, and I'm like, nope, because it's just he and I now, And so I do the best I can, and I just advise everybody to just try your best when you're feeling like it's super challenging to where you just feel like you feel so defeated. Like, just try to go get just some kind of support, even if that looks like therapy. Like, serious. Yeah, because it's not easy,
Well, Meelah, I want to go ahead. Go ahead, Perry.
Oh, I'm sorry. The book.
Yep.
I haven't read the book. I don't, but I could just imagine that it's based on his favorite color, his favorite sock, what he would carry around or grab all the time. Because my son does that. I see a lot of celebrities, even well, I'm not gonna say celebrities, a lot of entertainers, even like whether it's Jay-Z or whoever, they would do different things where they would put out an album and they would have like, probably his daughter would say something on the album or sing, and then he'd give her, credits on the album. Do you plan on doing anything like that with Zach, like, co-author or anything like that?
Absolutely.
For future books?
Yes, absolutely. Future books, future projects in general. Dad and I talk about things like that. We want to set our children up right? So Jay-Z and DJ Khaled have definitely been the blueprint. And it's very wise, as I've learned with, unfortunately, my bandmate, and just as we know in life, we just never know what can happen. Anything can happen at any given moment. So yes, absolutely. And putting things in his name for sure. Whether that's my music publishing or yes, like this series of books, which is why I started out with at least just naming the book after him.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
See?
So, Meelah, I wanted to talk about, since you were talking about autism and dealing with autism, I want to let our viewers know that you do have an organization called PROUD, and PROUD
Mhm.
stands for Parents Reaching Out to Understand Developmental Delays. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the foundation?
So I established Proud around the time Zach was diagnosed, I think, which was around like 2013. Because at the time I just really deemed it necessary. I felt like, okay, I have this kid who's on the spectrum, and clearly God wants me to, um, you know, use my voice. There's a purpose. I realized then, like, okay, I got a purpose other than just being, a musician. Like, it's something deeper. So Zach, to me, saved my life and gave me a clearer understanding of my purpose and my trajectory, and just kind of like what what's important in life. So I started the foundation. Parents reaching out to understand developmental delays, really to be a voice, like I said earlier, to be a support system for other parents who have kids on the spectrum, or just children who are special needs, any type of special needs, because I know firsthand that it's challenging. I would see parents at Zach's therapies and things like that, and I just, would be looking around like, man, we gotta it's hard enough, as we know, being a parent, right? Just in general, that's like the hardest job in the world. And
Mhm.
so when we have those that are on the spectrum or just special needs, it just comes with a whole separate, different set of challenges. And I felt like I should just start a foundation just to be that voice. We've had a few programs over the past, some fundraisers. I've had a few of my peers come and like some benefit concerts and sing, and just really raising awareness. That was really the main objective. I haven't done anything in a while. Like I said, things got real, and even Proud had to take a break because it takes a village.
Yes.
It takes a village, even for community service work. And I haven't had anything in a while, but I'm looking to do something really huge in Las Vegas, actually. I've been talking about it with a few people for a few years now. I really want to do something special in Las Vegas, my hometown, for the community, not just for parents, the children as well. Not just one event, but just start like an annual situation, with Proud, to kind of put Proud on the map on the West Coast as well. It's really important to me because, everyone has a 501(c)(3), but I really want to be active and I really wanted to make a difference. So don't give up on Proud. Proud has been on mute for a minute, but she's coming back. She's coming back
Yeah.
strong.
You
Yes,
need some proud facilities, some facilities where
ab-
parents and children can
absolutely.
come and play.
Yes, that is the long term goal for Proud. Actually, I used to always say that in my interviews, that was one of my long-term goals, was to have like a boys and girls club, if you will, like a facility or after school situation, or somewhere where parents can drop them off, where they can receive like musical therapy and different types of therapy, and just somewhere where they can have a moment to just interact with their peers, and
Mhm.
be active. Because everybody doesn't like to go outside. My son doesn't like to go outside. He doesn't like sports. He doesn't like shooting the ball. He doesn't like even being outdoors, period, because he freaks out with anything that flies.
Mhm.
Okay, like major. Um, and that started when he was a toddler, with leaves in the fall. He would spaz out. And so still at 14, don't let him see a fly,
Mhm.
a butterfly, there's nothing. And so they're all different. So I'm like, hey, it's okay. We can criticize it, or we can create a safe space for them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And somewhere where parents can drop their behinds off and go get them a little cocktail if they want to, or whatever, just to let their hair down, because we be needing it.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
A little breather, a little
Yes,
breather.
a
Yeah,
little breather.
that would be dope. Uh, because I look at him. I look at him in the way that my son, in the way that how people communicate. He's not an animal, but I'm just saying how they would communicate with animal dog, for instance, to get a dog to understand different commands. They would do
Hmm.
different things. And I know one of the therapists that we dealt with, like, he likes pot pies. So
Hmm.
she told us to take a picture of the pot pie box and put it on the refrigerator and point at it and tell him, is this what you want that's when, you know, he first started eating them. Now he'll go and open the refrigerator for himself
Oh,
and,
absolutely. They
and
graduate
grab
to
with him.
things.
So he's real funny. I wish there was they, you know, even here in Atlanta, yeah, whenever you get the Proud facility, that would be good to have kids be able to interact based
Yes,
on um whatever their level is, you
level.
know, have groups for each different level and stuff. So they
Yeah,
they can they can it would help them with their communication amongst each other. And I
right.
think it would
Absolutely.
show us a lot as adults. Sometimes, like even now, conversating with you, it came to me that sometimes God would use a child like that and put them in our life to teach us how to find other ways of how to communicate with adults, because
Hmm.
there are a lot of things that He may give us, and we say them, whether it's in a text or we say it in a post or whatever, that people don't get it the way that we mean it, you
Hmm.
know. So
Mhm.
he you know, may use it in a way to allow us to communicate, in a way to reach people, whether it's in ministry or,
Hmm.
you know, whatever, just to reach them in a way, um just to be more, you know, in tune with everybody. May not come from the same background that we come from, even
Absolutely.
though we have the same hue, and they may
Right.
not receive everything the way we have become adjusted to it. Now,
Mhm.
your event for your
Hmm.
book signing in Vegas, I know it's going to be big. I know it's going to be off the chain. One, it's your hometown. I
Hmm.
know it's going to be off the chain.
I hope so. I truly hope so. We are a little lagging behind with, with the promo, of course, because of the unfortunate passing of, my bandmate. But I'm hoping we can catch up and get the ball rolling and get them over to one of, if not all three of the locations for
Yeah, they're
sure.
going to come. They're
That'll
going to
really be
come.
exciting. I hope so. That'll be exciting. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I haven't done anything on my own in Vegas in quite some time. And then just something in this lane I've never done before. So I'm like really hyped about it. I hope they are receptive. We live in a fickle society these days.
Yeah, yeah.
But
A miracle marketing is going to help.
I already know. No, Brandon, he stay on top of it. He be pushing my buttons because that Brandon gonna listen. He gonna be persistent and consistent and get it done.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he
Carry
will.
on and tell you too. I get on his nerves as well.
I know. That's your
Yeah,
job, Brandon. Look, we love you for it. We might give you a hard time, but that's your job. But
yeah, the
no,
consistency
I
get the
hope
things
everybody
done.
comes. That's right. That's the only way. Because if not, I wouldn't do it. I already know. That's why I enlisted his help for sure. Um, but I'm really looking forward. Like I really, I'm so excited to be doing the West Side Library, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with Las Vegas, but that's a library that I grew up going to as a kid. It's on the black side of town, if you will. So that's like our community library. A lot of the children over there may come from less fortunate homes and low income homes. And I don't know, if they can afford books. I don't know if they come from homes where they're read to or not, but I'm hoping that, those children, or at least their parents, will come out, even if they don't have a book, that they're coming to have signed. If I have extra, I'll just gift them one because I want to start going and reading um, at schools, like elementary schools and things like that. I'm gonna talk to Brandon about that. Just go start reading to these kids at these, schools at maybe like the impoverished areas, not just in Vegas, even here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so necessary. We don't promote reading a whole lot, in the community. And I think it's very important, for our children to be educated and for them to know how to read. Like with autism, my son can read, but he does not understand. He can't really comprehend what he's reading. Therefore, although he may be reading on a high level or an age appropriate level, um, because he can't comprehend what he's reading, they've had to, lower him back to a lower level because the way his comprehension is set up. However, he enjoys books. And so I'm just happy that he likes books. He just likes, even if it's just flipping the pages,
Yeah.
you know, the colors, um, the pictures, they're very visual. My son is a visual
Yes.
learner. Yeah. So his photographic memory is off the chain. I might need to get him to pick some numbers or something for the lottery. We need to see what's popping.
You
Okay.
know, yeah, that's what I was saying. I know a lot of like older generations. Um, Most of us had we grew up in the South or different areas. We had a deep Southern drawl. Our accent was so heavy, we didn't pronounce everything that's right. You would
Right.
think somebody was saying something totally different,
Right.
because of
The
their
accent
accent.
was the draw.
Yeah, so a lot of kids have grown up, and in today's time, they probably would have been diagnosed with
Mm,
autism because of we think they have a comprehension problem or a speech impediment, and
mm-hmm.
it's just because of we learn basically audibly what we hear. How we speak is based on how we hear other people around us speaking. So if
Mm-hmm.
our grannies um, didn't pronounce words right, we grow up speaking just like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
that's what I was saying about the comprehension, because you have educated people who've gone to college and got degrees that don't understand everything in the Bible.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
You
That's
know,
a real thing.
so
Yes.
so I think that people need to be change the way they think and how they approach things. Everybody basically, because
Mm-hmm.
is sometimes I don't think is really um, the problem that we think it is. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
It's just that we
I
just
do.
move too fast. We don't take
Mm-hmm.
the time to just, maybe we have to learn things a different way sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And for it to
Yes.
flow.
And
Because I
that's with
know,
children on the spectrum or off the spectrum. That's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
that happens a lot of time with our children, our Black children. Back in the day, they used to throw our children in remedial courses, special education courses, and saying they had a learning disability when that may not even be the case.
yeah,
So I know what you mean.
yeah. I'm still
And
trying to
and
learn the
everyone
theme
learns
song, "The
differently.
Good Times."
Listen, not the theme song. I have given up. I don't even try anymore because I heard too many different versions of what people think they say. So never mind. My
Well,
goodness.
well, we're running short of time, so I want to definitely get in about the 3 locations that the event is going to be at this Saturday, October 7th. So you talked about it's going to be at the West Las Vegas Library. That address is 951 West Lake Mead Boulevard, Las Vegas, and that's 89146. That event will be going on from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. We have another one right after that. That one's going to be at the Barnes and Nobles at 2191 North Rainbow Boulevard in Las Vegas. And we just had DJ Retro on the show. So for everybody that the last one is going to be a signing, but it's going to be more of like a meet and greet kind of party feel because we're going to be out there with the DJ and everything. That one will be at the Speakeasy at Lake Las Vegas, 10 Via Brianza. I think that's how you pronounce it. Number 110, that will be in Henderson, Nevada. That will be from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Spinning with our boy DJ Retro, who was just on the show. Meelah,
That's nice. That's gonna be fun.
Meelah, tell our
Yep.
viewers anything else you want to leave with them, where they could follow you. All
Um.
of that.
My goodness. Right now, I'm gonna just tell you guys where to follow me and just keep up with me on the gram because my mind is a little bit all over the place right now, but I always have something going on. So follow me at It's Meelah on Instagram, but that's my handle on all social media at It's Meelah, ITSMEELAH. I'll be in LA Friday, October 16th at the Greek Theater with Lamisha. We are 702 as Misha and Meelah, and we will continue to be doing shows at 702. So yeah, we have a show coming up the day before my signing. So that's in LA at the Greek Theater. If you're going to be in LA October 6th, come to the Greek Theater. It's 702 and a bunch of other artists. I don't even know who, but yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And then I'm flying straight home, man, and doing these signings, and I cannot wait. So if you're in Vegas, please come get with me at one of those locations. And thank you everybody in advance for purchasing the book. But yeah, follow me, guys. At It's Meelah. Thank you.
And where can they find the book online as well?
Also, yes, so purchase the book, please and thank you. You can go to barnesandnobles.com. That is not probably going to make it in time if you want to get it signed this weekend. But barnesandnobles.com. And of course, you can go to Amazon. Amazon is carrying the book. And if you're Prime, you should have it by the weekend, but I'm not going to make any promises. However, if you get it from Amazon, please make sure you put it in the search bar, Zach's Favorite Socks book. Because if you don't, I think like some random socks will come up. So Zach's Favorite Socks book, okay? And you will see this on Amazon. And yeah, thank y'all so much. And then on barnesandnobles.com, you just have to put the title in, Zach's Favorite Socks, and it'll pop up. So you guys can get that there.
We want you to come out support, get your signing, get your book, take some pictures and photos with Meelah. The evening, come out and party, have a feel-good vibe. Big Perion, Meelah, you guys are in the same city. We need a hit record coming from you guys. What's up?
I'm
Right.
ready.
You got I know you got your studio equipment over there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
We're on the show with a platinum artist and a gold producer. What's up? We need some hits coming from these people.
Look, Brandon. Okay. Oh, okay, Brandon. Look, the pressure, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we're ready.
I'm trying to get back in the studio, man. It's like one thing at a time. I'm telling you, I got so many projects I'm trying to complete, but I definitely got to get back to my music. That's where I'm the most, I won't say the most happy, but that's home. Music is always, yeah, man. I love being in the studio. Actually, I used to be a studio rep, but a lot of stuff had to change. Like I said, I had to slow down. Zach runs the show, so. When I can get back in the studio and really zone out, I'm gonna let you know.
All right.
Sounds good.
You heard it here first on the Miracle Marketing Podcast. Want to thank you again, Meelah, for being on the show. I will see you this week. Perion, thank you for being on the show, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you as always.
All right, so nice to meet you.
Thank you, Meelah. You too.
I'm gonna meet you in real life one day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you will be out in Las Vegas this weekend to see Miss Meelah get her book and take some photos and pictures and get it signed. Thanks everyone for tuning in to the Miracle Marketing Podcast. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.